And we're back again, and today we are visiting the Gambia. It is a way they announce the country as the Gambia.
We have been corrected many times, and we've broken this habit about calling it the Ukraine, because
Yes.
it's just Ukraine. But now it's not Gambia, it's the Gambia.
So I think they have a right to go after the Ohio State for use of the word "the." Wouldn't that be
I like
It's
it.
so easy to confuse the two.
All right, June, that's for you.
There you go. So we
signed up for an excursion. For
Yes.
this one. Yes.
And this
Oh.
was a two-walkie. So the tours are graded by how much walking. One walkie guy, two, or three, which indicates the,
Or 3.5 even. Yeah.
they had the 3.5?
I think so.
I
Yeah.
don't remember that, but I believe you. And we had some less than mobile people on our trip.
Yeah.
And so the first market we went to was just a local market, had a wide range of things, shoes, electronics, music,
Fish.
cloth, fish, everything was in there.
Yeah. I would say mostly things that people live there want to buy.
Yes.
Certainly
It was
not
like going
tourist
to
goods.
it was going to a Kmart.
Yeah, yeah. This is a market for locals.
Yes.
Very interesting. Nothing there that we want to buy. Fly swatter. So.
Another fan.
Now, this was my first bus that we couldn't see out the window.
Oh, yes.
Because the moisture had gotten between the two panes, and I kept,
Fogged up,
you're
clouded
sitting
up
next
the
to a
window.
window, and your natural inclination is to try and look out it, and you're straining your
Can't
eyes,
see
and
anything.
I was getting the worst headache. But so I was glad to get off the bus whenever we could. So when you're on a tour, before you pop your butt down in a seat, take a look around.
Make sure you
Can
can
you
see
see
out
through the window?
Yeah.
Does the window open? Are you in the place where it opens? It's exhausting. I'm learning these lessons too late into the trip.
Well, that was, on the other hand, I don't know that we missed a whole lot.
I suppose, but it's nice to
I
see
mean,
how
it's
the
nice
world
to be
lives.
able,
Yeah.
nice to be able to see out, I agree.
Yeah, yeah.
So the market was very like you said, a souk almost.
Yeah.
It's very narrow, lots of ins and outs.
Mhm.
You had to kind of keep up to keep on schedule. And so as soon as we get back, the first
I'm
thing
right on the tail of the person ahead of me because I'm not getting lost in there.
Yeah. You could get turned around so
Ooh,
easily.
Ooh, yeah.
And as it was, we came out maybe half a block down.
Mhm.
They'd moved the bus there to meet
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
So everybody's on except for two people that,
Probably stopped to buy something. Yeah.
Or-
Or talk to someone or, yeah.
and lost the group. So the guides had to go out and look for these. Now, two people, I'm going like, there's only two white people in this whole place.
How hard could they be defined?
Exactly. So they finally found them and got them on the bus.
Oh.
And
And this is where we learn difference in cultures too in the
Oh.
Gambia. So we're going in this market and you see these beautiful women. I mean, they're just living their everyday lives and they're dressed. I will say there in Gambia, every woman had the most beautiful prints on, head to toe. Their hair was all done up in a cloth, and then they had big long dresses, free flowing, gorgeous. Don't take their pictures. They cannot like that. Yes. So.
yeah, our two German friends was taking a picture and the woman started berating him.
Yeah.
And she picked up a piece of newspaper because she had a nice fish dish ball. She just happened to be behind it.
Yeah,
And-
it was right off the bus, so I pulled out my phone and she pulls it up real fast and she's yelling. And and then when we got into the market, there were some ladies selling beautiful fruits and stuff, so a beautiful picture. Oh no. So we, the rest of the time in the Gambia, we didn't take pictures.
Yeah.
specifically of people. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Or maybe just try to have the facts. Yeah. I like the market. It was very interesting.
But again, nothing really that we needed to buy. It was just more of a
Yeah.
experiential thing, walking
Exactly.
through.
Exactly. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our next stop was the National Museum.
Of Gambia.
Yes.
The Gambia.
And I think you can kind of tell.
It harkened back to the colonial past.
It was a very modest building.
Yeah.
And, I suppose when a country has many problems, they're not going to put a lot of money into extraneous things like museums. So, yes. But, lovely little group of children there in their yellow uniforms. The little boys had bow ties. They were gorgeous. I wanted to take their picture so much.
Yeah.
Jeff took a picture from far away, so maybe we can show. Gorgeous. These children are so gorgeous, and there's so many of them. Yes.
Well, the Gambia was interesting in that it was, and maybe the photo thing might have to do with the religion, because
Could be.
it was 90% Muslim.
Yeah.
And, but a weird mix of, even though they spoke French, the colonialism started with the British.
Yeah.
And in the museum, it had an old photo of Queen Elizabeth and all the hierarchy of the British people that had been there.
Well, they had a family tree of hers all the way back down to,
Somewhere, hundreds of years.
past Henry VIII. So, yeah. Very interesting.
Oh, and you couldn't take photos in the museum.
You had to pay.
You had to pay.
It was $1.
$3.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, it was pretty
Okay.
expensive. $3 for a photo pass.
I don't know that I had $3. So, we.
But
did
it
not
was
take pictures
interesting to see
inside. Yes.
the colonial influences.
Mhm.
And the Gambians they seemed to get along okay with their colonial status.
I guess so. And now, several countries in a row, too, we've heard Christians and Muslims, we live together,
Side by side.
we
and don't fight.
intermarry, we have no problem. So, that was interesting, that they stressed that. So I thought that was interesting. So, a little social commentary, yes, on their part.
Next, we went to the ceremonial arch, which highlighted their independence.
Yes,
It was an arch.
it was. And they were very proud.
Yeah.
So, that was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the arch, it was a short hop to, we stopped at the Grand Mosque, the biggest mosque in the Gambia.
Mhm.
It was a donation by the Saudi King.
That's right, it was. Yes. So, we got our first mosque.
Yeah.
We didn't go inside. We still haven't been inside of us, but
Yeah. I
we've been
don't
to
think we're
others.
allowed.
Well, yeah, you had to take off your shoes. Which, ladies probably should cover. I guess.
Cover, yeah.
Yeah, but no, we haven't been in a mosque. I don't know if we will at this point.
Yeah, I'm
Safe.
okay.
Then they took us to a jewelry store.
Yeah, they played up, we're going to the jewelry mart. We pulled into this little building that had two
Where's
old.
the store?
Where's the store? And people were piling off the buses trying to get in.
We
and there
couldn't
was
fit
no
in there.
room.
Yeah, I'm
You
like,
had-
let
you had
me
to-
out.
Yeah, you had to tell the people to stop. There's no
So,
room.
He had these glass
Two.
cases, there
Two
were
of
3 or 4 of them, and lots of silver pieces. And his prices were excellent. Again, I didn't have money. I don't need, it wasn't anything that jumped out at me
Yeah.
that I thought was that I really wanted to have. So yeah, we went back on the bus and I looked out the window. I couldn't see. So.
Yeah, and that was the jewelry mart. Our next stop was another boutique and tie-dye.
Factory. Now I had no idea that batik is such a worldwide art form.
It was very popular in the 70s
Was it?
in the U.S.,
Okay.
along with the
Tie-dye.
tie-dye movement,
Yeah.
but batik as well.
Hmm.
I remember making one in our class with the wax.
They
and
wanted
all.
us to try. But while we were there, they had piece of cloth that I really wanted, but I just didn't know what I would do with it at home.
Well,
You
it
know.
was cloth that people would buy to make
Yeah.
clothing out of. So it was
Exactly.
just like going to a fabric store.
I probably could have had my friend Betty make some pillowcases out of it. That would have been match my birthday.
But we got a new tablecloth
Yeah,
for our deck,
tablecloth.
little
See how
tie-dye
pretty it
number.
is? Yes. So, and it's round. So as soon as somebody picked it up, I'm like, oh, that's round. This will be perfect for my deck table.
Yes.
Yes, I'm very excited. And Jeff was angry with me. I didn't bargain very well.
Yeah.
Well, he said 25, and I said 20. He said, you should have said 15. It was very much a matriarchal thing because the guy that was helping me, he had to go to the woman sitting, and she was smoking her little cigar, and she was like,
They got some money.
Yeah. So I contributed to that. Yeah. Then.
We went way off the chart here. They took the big bus to this village. It was
Then we had to pile off the big bus.
to get on two little buses
Yes.
and go down this narrow road, open gutters on each side of the bus. I was afraid he was going to run into one of them and be stuck.
He's a trained professional.
Sure. Particularly when they only get three or four ships a year.
Yeah.
But we were able to get down, and we went to a crocodile pond with crocodiles everywhere.
They were everywhere. At first, I didn't see them. And then somebody said, oh, that was a statue. And I'm like, oh, they're statues. And I went, oh,
No,
yeah, it's a
those are
statue.
real. They were all just lazing on those stones.
All sizes, too,
Yeah.
big, small.
One of them gave us the big mouth. Didn't like us staring at him.
That just means he's cooling off. Remember, we learned that in Australia. Yes, I think. But so we take you back, and then there's an area in the back where the guy kind of talks about it, and there's a minder, and you can touch that
You go up and
crocodile.
pet the crocodile.
Yeah, so I
Just
did.
not its head.
No, the guy ahead of me got really far up on it on the back, and I was like, don't agitate him. I'm next.
Yeah.
But I touched him real quick. Got Greedo in there. So, yeah.
That was it. Now, the guy that was in front of Amy was one of the less mobile people.
Again,
And
you know,
again.
he's going to move out of the way fast.
So, again, our guide's there with our sign, the tour number. He's herding people up to get back on the bus because, you know, we had another stop to do.
We did.
And, yeah, that's the one where I protested and we got our money back.
That's right.
So, on this particular leg, the people missed the bus. And when we realized there was like 6 people missing because they weren't paying attention, it was a 20-minute wait. And being as entitled as they were, they declared to the rest of the bus they were tired and wanted to go directly to the ship. And I
We were
said
promised
no.
a drink stop.
Well, it was at a resort
Uh-huh.
where you could actually get out. You couldn't see the ocean. You could just barely see it between the trees and over the buildings.
Yeah, so we could have actually seen the ocean.
Got to see the ocean, walk down to the beach, and try some local
Yes.
drinks.
Well, you might have got another beer.
I
you know.
might have got another beer.
Yes.
Exactly.
He was
Um,
very mad.
I was mad. And the poor guy didn't know what to do, and these people, we're tired. Take us back to the boat.
He did the best he could. You know, you can't make.
Yeah,
you
I know. You got
yeah.
some very vocal people,
Exactly.
a minority,
Yes.
Of
Vocal
which-
minority.
a vocal minority, and they just took over the rest of the tour. And when I got back on the boat, I went down and complained
You did?
that yes,
I
I went
know.
down to the destinations, and next thing you know, they refunded our money.
We should find something to complain about every time.
Well, I don't want to be those people that complain about everything.
We gave him back one, he's done.
Yeah, I got a refund. But it was just people. I don't know how to describe them. Just they must think they're way more entitled than the rest of us on the bus. That they could just hijack the tour because they're tired.
They're tired.
And they were lost, and that's their own damn fault. Yeah, I was pretty riled up about that.
Yeah.
So that was our day in the Gambia. Oh, what else?
No, it was. Was that the day that we drove through the market, or that huge market, and we saw all those clothes? Or
Yes, on the way
oh
back.
no, that was in Dakar.
That was in Dakar.
Sorry, don't talk about that.
We're getting ahead of
But
ourselves.
It did seem that Gambia was quite entrepreneurial. There were lots of little stores and things. So yeah.
Again, I think it's somehow the way they break down in family, tribal units. Everywhere you go, you would just see independent markets selling SIM cards,
Mm-hmm.
phones, and again, these were, I mean, less than a mile apart. You had all these local markets for, I guess, the neighborhoods.
Sure.
So that was kind of interesting.
That's the Gambia.
That's the Gambia. We're going to say goodbye again,
Hello.
and we're back for another day in Western Africa.
Yes, this time we were in Dakar, Senegal. No, the
No, that. Just Dakar.
Dakar.
Dakar. Dakar.
Yes.
think
Dakar
they
is
have-
pretty famous, so for some rally, some road race.
From Paris to Dakar.
It's a big one, I guess.
It's a big rally, yeah.
I would have liked to go on and see that, but it was probably a good thing we did.
Yeah.
I heard that was an 8-hour tour.
It was an 8-hour tour in bench seats and open on all four sides.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
You must have got blown
yeah,
away.
Yeah, sore backs coming back. But our little tour, we're on another bus. Can't see through the window. I could see through the window.
You
It was
could-
just very dirty.
It was very dirty.
Yes.
They were sandblasted.
Yes.
The red
Hadn't
clay
been washed
sand,
in a long
yeah.
time. Yeah.
It was caked on.
And again, plop down in the seat, don't look. And the window's actually open. Pretty unusual for, buses. And, we Americans are used to windows that open on a bus. So the lady had it open, and so she was able to see out
And
nicely,
we're looking
take
through now
pictures.
2 pieces of dirty glass.
Exactly. And like you said, the hot air coming in on us, and it's fighting with the air conditioning, so the air conditioning is working. Just like,
I said, if you're not taking pictures, close it.
there you go. And I thought you put that pretty well.
Yeah.
And she did.
She did.
Yeah.
Then she figured out she could open the window in front of her and left that open the whole time. So it was still blowing.
The air conditioner still wasn't working.
Yeah, the air
so.
conditioning was struggling to keep up.
It wasn't
But,
quite as hot as it has been, though.
No, actually,
that
it's
was fine.
interesting to note that as we've been going north, the temperatures have dropped
Yes.
into the low 80s.
I'd say it's probably 75 out here right now. Wouldn't you say?
I guess, maybe that.
Yeah.
But then as we approach the rest of the trip, it'll start warming up again.
Yeah.
But nothing like we had around the equator.
Let's hope.
yeah.
Yeah.
So-
We end our trip in July. And Europe has been getting hotter and hotter in summer.
And raining.
Yeah.
So where did we stop first?
At a cathedral. Again, the Senegalese, quite proud of the fact that Christians and Muslims live together in peace.
Yes.
No one bothers.
Well, they outnumber 90% to 10%.
Yeah.
But again, they emphasized, and all the people that were doing our guides and all were all Muslim, and
Sure.
I never felt any overt hostility to being infidel.
And I actually had a scarf with me that I had bought.
did.
And
The head covering.
just in case. And really never needed to use it.
No.
Most ladies had their hair the hair covered, but yeah, nobody looked. Well, I guess they knew it to us.
Yeah.
We kind of stand out.
Yeah, we were, more people were taking photographs of us than we were taking of them.
Oh my God, white people. Americans.
Wow.
But the cathedral was beautiful. It was very modern. Less than 50 years old, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Big stone bricks, blocks. So it was very cool inside. I thought it was decorated quite well. The ceiling, I would have loved to have heard the story about the ceiling. I could probably look that up.
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of the ceiling paintings
Yeah.
in Italy,
Yeah.
in the churches
Sure.
and cathedrals there. So that was kind of,
And the baptismal font was particularly lovely. Yes.
and the stained glass behind it. I did get a photo
Mhm.
of that. So yeah, that was our first stop.
I saw a nun pray.
You did?
Yeah. And the first little altar as you walk in. Probably lit a candle.
Oh, I didn't
There were a
know.
lot of
I didn't know
candles
she
in it.
was a nun.
Well, she was dressed as maybe a
Okay.
novice.
All right.
Yeah.
I just thought she was a woman praying, but she did light her candle to the.
But she had the veil thing. Sorry, not Catholic. I don't know what it's called. So don't want to be.
I just thought she had head covering on.
Okay.
But, yes.
Yes. So we pile back in the bus. Can't see them out the window.
Now things were in French there too.
They were.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't remember French. It was the Holy Mother and the baby Jesus kind of at the altar where she was praying. So,
Sure. Yes.
well, from there we went to an art demonstration
Yeah.
of sand painting.
Really interesting.
Yeah, and this was, I expected it was going to be like the colored sands you might see out in the western deserts, where they had different color bands.
Mhm.
But they actually used the sand in much the way they did batik to block out areas, and then they painted around it.
But did you see the sand was from different countries?
No, I didn't
That's
see
why
that.
it was different colors.
Ah.
Yeah, so it's this is from this country, this is from this country.
Okay.
It was really cool. And just even the swirls he was making, I was like, wow, that's awesome. Yeah. But he wasn't making anything. He was just demonstrating how different the sand looks and how it looks together. Now, the next guy, he did his, and then he has glue on there, and then he shakes it up, and he's this really nice little picture. It was really cute. That was the one I wanted.
Ah.
But it wasn't done. It had to bake in the sun
Yeah.
for a while. And the ones on the wall, I wasn't
That
real
impressed
excited
me.
by.
Yeah.
So, oh well. I guess we'll live without sand art. He said, don't have to do anything. You just dust it lightly. Don't get it wet. The sand will go away. So, but it was quite interesting. I loved that demonstration, even though we didn't buy anything there. So, yeah. I'm sure they got a cut.
I think it's good. Next off, we went to
Up on a hill.
way up on a hill, and again, the discrepancy. Going up this hill was a little cooler.
Mm-hmm.
Housing and things were very modern design.
I would say Dakar is a much more modern city, a much more intact infrastructure. Probably get quite a few tourists. You know that rally thing probably brings in some people. The roads were all seem fine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like we have. So
Compared to what we had seen, this was,
Yeah.
this
Much
was
more modern.
Much more modern.
um, vibrant economy, I think, it seemed to me. And yeah, so we drove up this big hill, and we came to the African Renaissance Monument.
Monument.
Enormous.
Yeah. And again, it was loaded with school kids doing day trip.
Oh my God.
And it was the same
Thousands
thing.
of children. Thousands.
All of them had their phones out taking pictures of us standing around.
They were. And all in their different uniforms. And then at one point, they started walking up the stairs, and their teacher must have said something, and they all started yelling and running up. They were racing up the stairs. Now, we're smart enough. We weren't walking up those stairs. Hawaii Joe did it.
We did.
Good on him. But Hawaii Laura did not.
We stayed down and admired it from below.
We did.
It's
That's nice
a
pictures.
huge, huge statue.
Enormous.
Was it 800 feet tall?
Don't know.
I mean, if
No,
you got
you
too
could go
close,
up in
you
it,
couldn't
too.
see it. Yeah.
But we
Right,
didn't have time
the
for that.
lines.
Yeah,
With all the kids
1,000
trying to
children
get up.
trying to do that, yes. But there was a very vibrant little marketplace there, and there were stalls from all these countries we've been to. So Togo, and Sao Tome, and French Comoros, and it was really exciting.
Mayotte.
Uh-huh.
But it appeared to me they were getting ready
Yeah, for a festival or something.
Yeah, they had an area set up with large screens,
Mhm.
and sounded more almost conference-like. So
Maybe.
I wasn't sure.
Mhm.
The guides couldn't explain, or we couldn't communicate.
Yeah, I think that guide, his English was not great. So, do the best you can.
Yeah.
It was wonderful to see. I enjoyed the children very much. Pile back in the bus.
Yes. And our next stop was to a seaside village.
Yes. And as now, this is a part of the car. A lot of dirt roads. And the traffic was just, everybody going everywhere. Willy willy.
5 lanes in a 2-lane road.
Exactly. And I couldn't believe how many horse carts we saw.
Yeah. horse-drawn
Everywhere.
carts.
They were something. Yeah, so, great. A lot of horses. So, yeah, we piled off. We probably mucked up the traffic pretty bit. And we went around a corner, and there were some villagers dancing for us. Very different from the others. Their costumes looked
Oh, they did.
and they were in the broad sunlight. So, yeah. But we looked down the street, we could see ocean. So we crept away.
And we passed by, we didn't stop, but the largest goat ram market anywhere. So as we were going down to the water, we passed a number of pens of animals and
All rams.
enjoying their last few days before they
Eid,
become
I think.
dinner.
I think it's Eid.
Eid
Find
or
out.
something, yeah.
Yeah, so the tradition is that you sacrifice the ram, you bleed it out, and then you roast it. Now, a ram could cost upwards of $333.
Yes. U.S.
So it's tradition and probably good karma to buy as many rams as you can and then share them with the poor. So that's tradition.
Kind of the giving of alms.
Mhm.
But all these poor guys were going to be on a dinner plate.
Probably already.
But it was fun looking at them.
Yeah, yeah. But the oceanfront was gorgeous. Anywhere else, this would have been a beautiful beach. Just, for sunbathers and stuff. But no. There were shipping boats everywhere.
Fishing boats.
Were they, I guess, all brightly colored. Beautiful painting. Yeah. And then we saw some horse carts going by in different directions. And, yeah. We saw more of our fellow tourists down there, too. That's such a way to see the ocean.
Yeah.
Probably should have gone down to the water. I think that was the day I forgot Greedo. I was quite upset
You
with
did.
myself. Yes, that was the day we left, and I forgot my sunglasses.
You forgot everything that
I
day.
did. It was bad. Yeah.
And then our last stop was also to the Grand Mosque in Dakar.
Mhm.
Again, you couldn't go in, but you just admire it.
Mhm.
And it had a lot of marble. It was an expensive building.
Expensive, yes. So someone told me that if you look at the mosque from above, it's a star. So I'll try and find that on the internet. That sounded interesting.
Mhm.
It was a beautiful building.
Yes.
And then then he drove us through a really extensive marketplace. Lots of clothes, shoes, and sometimes the shoes would just be piled. You see
Okay.
people digging through there trying
To find a pair that match.
Yeah, and the clothes, to me, they were in these big white bags. You know, they kind of put sand in a construction site. It seemed like the clothes were in those kind of things. So I wonder if that's where our church donations go.
I don't know.
When people give away clothes.
Or it's stuff they're buying out of China.
I don't know, or maybe it's clothes that never sold. So very vibrant, and people just buying. And the guide said some people can't afford to buy clothes new, so they come down here and buy used clothes. And I'm like, nothing wrong with that. Better than that.
Better than a landfill. Oh.
Yeah.
So again, very modern, but as soon as you turn a corner, you can be in a very desperate place.
Well, that's why you don't wander off,
Yeah.
except for to the sea.
Well, we were
fine.
in sight,
We were.
and there
fine.
was a number of us. People followed us down,
They did. Yeah.
so we had
Strength
some
in
numbers.
numbers. Yeah.
Exactly.
So I liked Dakar. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I've been.
Okay.
Check. All right.
And that's the car,
That's Dakar.
and we're going to say
That's goodbye.
au revoir. Was it French again? Can't
I feel like it
remember.
was English. I don't know.
But I mean, colonial-wise, was it Portuguese or French?
I bet it was French because of the Paris
Yeah.
rally thing. It's a
Yes.
guess.
Okay.
Okay.
That was a good guess.
All
And
right. So
you can watch the Paris Dakar rally on TV at home.
I might have to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have a postcard we want to send?
I don't know. Do we?
Yeah, we do. The next postcard,
Those two.
a repeat,
Ooh.
because she asked. So it's my old work colleague, Joelle.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so
Yes.
I'm getting a nice postcard.
There you
You'll
go.
like it. Already on the way, actually.
Okay.
All righty.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Ciao.
Where are we going next?
We're going to reveal?
Capo Verde. Cape Verde.
Yes.
That's where we're going next. So,
Cabo
yeah.
Verde.
Yeah. Tiny, tiny island. See ya. Bye.